future of Internet access provisions. The dynamic nature of the world defines how we as humans live our lives. Our race is constantly becoming more ingrained in materialistic values and technological trends, creating complexities to the world we live in. The lives that humans now lead continually seek solutions to make our day-to-day activities more efficient and more enjoyable. With humans becoming more reliant on the growth of technology to fulfill these desires in their lives. With the continual rapid development of technology, it is difficult to foresee the future of Internet access provisions and how much further it will progress in refining our lives. Living in a dynamic world means that there are countless uncertainties relating to the future of Internet access provision and the world we live in. These being, the access of Internet will become irrelevant as a new platform will be developed to meet the dynamic needs of humans. The access of Internet will be available and dominating every square metre of the world. High levels of competition for Internet service providers, also known as ISPs in Australia, will result in the demise of Telstra.
Net crazy. If a technology is introduced to make the internet irrelevant, how will it affect the world as we know it? With technology rapidly evolving, it is essential to recognise whether the internet will be relevant 20 years from now or substituted by a new and innovative platform in the future. If something new is created, it will change the way individuals connect with one another, may introduce a new method of e-commerce, making it even more convenient than it already is today. Essentially, will paper money become obsolete? Moreover, if the demand of internet decreases, the internet service industry may experience stagnant or declining demand. As a result, infrastructure previously invested to support the distribution of internet by the internet service providers will become purposeless. Potentially, the whole industry may diminish, creating economic and social concerns for employment worldwide. Furthermore, society will need to adapt its habits to this new technology, and government will need to create ways to regulate any potential unethical behaviour that may put lives in danger. Finally, will there be a greater decline in quality of life for people in developing countries due to falling further behind in technology? Contrastingly, if the scenario does not happen and the internet will continue to exist and flourish, the internet service provider industry may expand, reducing the demand for major companies such as NBN. Evolving internet will facilitate an increased growth in imports and exports to enhance quality of life in developing countries. Techie world. Will the introduction of internet access to all parts of the world be a positive or negative force in a time of social and cultural change? Internet introduced to all parts of the world, enabling 100% of the world's population, will have access to the internet regardless of previous demographic constraints, potentially enabling organisations to exploit the mass market and introduce the internet to those living in developing countries. In accordance to the World Internet User Statistics, only 49.6% of the world have access to the internet, and about 40% of the world's population does not have access to the internet. Looking towards the future, in particular the macro environment, will enable technological improvements, greater economic conditions, and changing societal values. Changes include technological advancements, governments enacting and amending legislations that support and regulate the ease of internet, and future business opportunities. Worldwide internet access seems beneficial, although an array of implications may occur that will detrimentally impact a variety of stakeholders, in particular developing and developed nations. The introduction of the internet in developing societies will enable drastic changes on the culture and standard of living in these key nations. Key changes will occur in the following areas: domestic growth, improved literacy rates, and changes in culture. Another stakeholder impacted are governments, as it may create complexities in managing the different jurisdiction and their applicable regulations. Also, the need for governments and regulatory bodies to introduce legislations or a network that will protect users from cybercrimes. Lastly, the third stakeholder is the internet providers. As the internet will become accessible everywhere, this industry may become a monopoly with one organisation managing the distribution of the internet worldwide. If this uncertainty does not occur, developed and developing nations, internet providers and governments will be confronted with challenges. Will third world countries continue to develop or lag behind? Will internet providers still be primarily operating in their base country or globally? How will governments grapple internet distribution and cybercrimes? and will the global economy continue to grow, making the scenario to become reality? World War Internet. Will the rollout of NBN and changes to government regulations in regards to internet service provisions affect Australian internet service providers? Because of the improvement on infrastructure, the NBN services will be accessed through all parts of the country. So what type of society does this create? If the government is funding everything, new regulations and laws regarding NBN will create a competitive environment between ISPs. They will make sure there is a growing and stable competition within the Australian internet market, creates a fair playing field for all companies as they will all offer the same internet access and speed throughout the country. Globalisation will enable new entrants from around the world and only the best will survive. So what does this mean for existing Australian internet service providers? They will be forced to either introduce new products, increase marketing activities, improve their services, or discount prices. Most importantly, be effective with outages and wide coverage. And in turn, this will result in the downfall of Telstra.
Overall, it is these scenarios that we believe will shape the future of internet access provisions on a global and domestic scale. Therefore, through examining our critical uncertainties surrounding the trends of the human race, global economic trends, government policy, technological trends, and more, we ask you, where do you envision the future of internet access provision in Australia and on a global level?